My good people. So, how many of us are 40 or turning 40 on the eve of turning 40 and we're not where we thought we would be in life? I'm turning 40 in a few weeks' time and I'm literally at the scariest point in my life where I'm starting over at the age of 40. I had to move back home with my kids, and it was supposed to be like a, short term type of thing, but it ended up being we're going for 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years. We'll be staying there because, yeah, life happened as it does to all of us. But I suppose this is not just about 40-year-olds only. It's just about, I guess, adults in general. So we have a podcast, a new podcast. Oh no, not another podcast. Oh yes, a new podcast, another podcast. Grace is skin deep. And if you're sitting there and you've been through the most, like, you went through the darkest of the darkest times and you were at the bottom of the darkest pit, but grace allocated you and you are flourishing in life, and not just financially only. Obviously, in every spectra of your life, you are sorted. And maybe you've always wanted to share your story so you could help someone else out there. You could be, your story could actually be someone's answered prayer. It could be that someone prayed and said, God, can you please show me a sign that this hopelessness is just a temporary thing, and that I'm gonna get out of this dark pit that I'm in. And maybe someone could hear your story and it could just help someone, give someone hope. That's really what it's all about. So yeah, because it can be tough. It can really, really be tough. I mean, my grace story is, I suppose, with everything that has happened the past 3 to 4 years in my life, and where I lost my house, and I still owe 120K over it. By the way, this thing of banks selling our properties for way less than what we owe, and then they expect you to just have that money. Like, I couldn't afford to pay you bond repayments because life is lifing and I don't have an income, but now you go and sell it way less than what I owe. And then after that, you're like, oh, by the way, there's 120,000 rands that you have to pay us. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, no. But anyway, with all of that has happened, and that there's a lot that's happening in my life, and there's just a lot that has happened. My grace story is, if you had told me 5 years ago when everything was perfect, I was living in my house with my kids and my partner at the time, and it seemed like, oh, well, we've made it in life. Look at us. Look at me, I made it in life. And, you had your nice little sexy car there, and just, yeah, you lived a decent life. With a great job and a decent salary. And I mean, if you had told me 5 years ago that I would be in the situation I'm in right now, I would have thought, no, not me. Not me, no. I would be dead. I would die. I would just die of a heart attack, or I would go stand in front of a bullet train, just get crushed to death. Not me. I could never live that life. Yeah, I'm living that life. And no, I'm still here. I'm still here, and just hopeful about life, and just find, you know, moments, a lot of moments of pure joy and pure peace and pure laughter. And that's where I realized that, no, man, this is grace, hey? This is really, really grace. This is really grace, because mentally it could have just broken me. I could have just been in a dark, dark place, but this is grace. I mean, you can tell by the wig that, hey, this one, you see this wig, you can just tell it, I know, it's not make sure. Nails are not done. Can't do nails. Yeah, once upon a time, 2 years ago, we did nails or sorbet. The manicure cost more than 500. That's the life we lived. And our hair was always in flick. And yeah, we would have some eyebrows drawn, and yeah, but no, we're not there anymore now. Now it's like, ooh, 600 for nails. Oh wow, we must buy food. We must eat. So, but with all of that that's going on, grace is skin deep in that I'm okay. I'm still pushing. yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm still pushing and I'm still here, and I have many moments of just pure joy, like I said, and that's my Grace story. I mean, there's obviously more, but yeah, just to give just to how can I put it? Just to say, where are we? How can we help each other out? I don't know. Maybe 10 people could be helped, or even 2 people. I suppose if anyone can just see a story that you can share and just think to themselves, no, man, if this person can go through that and get out of it and still be able to live a normal life, then it means that I can too. And this is everything, right? It's not just economics only, because life is really not economics only. Yes, it plays a big part, but life has so many nuances to it. So there's everything. I mean, it could be simple stories from someone who didn't grow up with a father, like a man who didn't grow up with a father, but then because you know that pain or whatever it is that you went through, you made that commitment to yourself that you are going to make the choice to be a father, or someone that didn't grow up with their mother, and you made a choice that I'm going to be a mother that's going to raise my kids. Or you were fired from a job and you spent 5 years not working, but grace allocated you. Grace allocated you and healed you to the point where you were able to be that which your parent couldn't be. It's life, and it happens to all of us. It doesn't matter what you identify as, what background you come from, and all of those things. It's just that it's life, and it affects all of us. So that's really the gist of it. Our email address is graceisskindeep@gmail.com. Come on, get in contact with us for our upcoming episodes that we're going to be shooting in a real studio. It's not going to be in a car. Well, the reason why we do the car is because, when you have kids, yeah, no, they all the time. So you have to find a spot where it's going to be quiet and you're going to do what you've been planning on doing. So this is why we're in a car. But we will love to hear your stories, and it will be in a studio. So get in touch with us. The email address again is graceisskindeep@gmail.com, and we'll also, if you go to our YouTube channel, there by our bio, we'll also try to include the WhatsApp number so that you can WhatsApp us. In about 2 to 3 weeks time, we'll be uploading our first episodes. It's going to be great. It's really just like, listen, answered prayers right here. God, give me a sign. Somebody just comes and say, yo, I went through, it's like Oprah. I think of Oprah's story. I mean, Oprah's story is really very inspiring. Oprah, God, like as a child, from the age of 9, she was sexually abused by multiple family members. And by 14, as she said, she has said herself how she was promiscuous. But obviously, this was a child that, was so traumatized and just all wired by the trauma of countless sexual abuse that happened in her life. So now she got to a point where that's all she did, and she was saved, but by her father. She has told the story many times. But the beautiful thing about it is that someone that went through that, they did not end up on the streets. They grew up to become Oprah. It's such stories, and I use Oprah as example because Oprah is relatable. Everyone knows who Oprah is. So it's such stories, and human beings, we are each other's caretakers, really, as much as we might think, oh, you're different because you're this, you're that, you're that, but we really are each other's caretakers, and your story might just save a life. You'll never know. And no, Wutsi Binki, don't come for me. I'm not saying like mental health issues, watch this podcast and your mental health issues will be solved. No, I'm just saying we can help give each other hope, yeah. So get in touch with us and let's sit down in the studio. Let's talk. Yeah. So be on the lookout for our podcast on the YouTube channel. The channel is Grace is Skin Deep Podcast by Malebo Mugoto. Yeah, so let's meet there and let's take it from there. Let's become a family. Let's do this thing together.